Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Adam and Steve, not
Adam and Eve.
the podcast where we bite the apple.
I almost said like,
Right? I think
we need a sound effect.
Right. That's what we're going to do, actually. I like that.
Instead of spill the tea still.
Right.
Like,
Well, we're gonna spill
bite the apple and spill the tea.
But we bite the apple. It makes sense. Well, we're back after a little hiatus. Adam, how are you feeling now?
I am feeling much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got, the Rona got us.
She got us, that bitch.
Yeah, she was a big old bitch.
She got us, right? So we're just telling you off the top. That's the reason why we had a little hiatus.
Yeah, we had to take a couple weeks, to recover.
Yeah, we had to recover because, she got us. We had done so well.
We did. It was like, how many months? It's been since March?
Since March.
Yeah.
We had done so well.
Yeah.
And then she blew in.
She's like, oh, wait, hey, bitches, you thought you were good?
She said, hold the fuck up.
Oh, man.
Oh, she got us good. So we're going to tell you guys that little journey.
Yeah, it was not the funnest one.
It really wasn't. You know what I mean? For me, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't just Adam and I. It was a few other people, but it hit everybody a little differently.
Mm-hmm. And before everybody freaks out, we really didn't go to some crazy party where we got it.
Right.
We have a pretty select group of people that we've hung out with during quarantine.
Yeah. And it was
a few of us, and we happened to be together on Thanksgiving, and
Yeah.
things, just one thing led to another, and
Yeah, we got it before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It wasn't like some crazy wild kiki party that we had gone to. I know you all probably were thinking that, so stop because you're wrong.
yeah.
It wasn't that. It was just like somebody came over and didn't know at the time that they had it. And it was just a few of us here. And, it kind of blew through all of us. And then for Thanksgiving, the ones that it didn't get, it got. And
Yeah, apologize for that.
yeah, sorry about that. It wasn't really our fault.
Yeah, we didn't know.
Yeah, it wasn't our fault. But let me just say this off the top before we get into this, though. Not divulging anybody's names or anything like that. But if you test positive and you were around quote unquote friends, it is your obligation to tell those people that you tested positive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that wasn't really the case with us. I mean, I had to do some sleuthing, but because you know me. But yeah, it's like if it doesn't occur to you common sense wise to tell people that you're around, then I really just don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Not be like, oh, well, the doctor said, anybody that came into contact him within 48 hours, which I know for a fact that this person had symptoms beforehand.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying if you're a friend, I feel like if you're my friend, my best interest should be at heart.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
That's.
And I don't know I don't know what the shame is behind it.
Yeah.
If you get tested positive, and if there's people out there that are scared to tell the people that they've been around that they've tested positive, it's like you don't realize how many people you can save from getting it if you just informed them.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that simple because,
it spreads so quickly.
But if you're a friend, you're supposed to have your friend's best interest at heart. But by not telling your friend that, I feel you don't. Yeah. And it makes me question your judgment, your friendship. You know what I mean? Anyways, I just had to say that.
Yeah. Yeah. And, regardless.
Some people say it's a word.
Whether or not we got it from that person is besides the point.
Right.
It's like if you come up positive, it's your obligation to your friends, if you're a loyal friend.
If you have been around them.
If you've been around them to maybe say something.
Exactly.
And so, that's the whole point behind it. I feel like there's so many people that are wandering around that potentially have COVID and don't know. Right. But once you know, that's where you backtrack.
Right.
So in it would have saved for us, if we would have known and had that, in our, if someone informed us of that, we wouldn't have gone to Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
And we wouldn't have, potentially spread it to them. So there's just it's such an easy solution to stop it from spreading.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. The numbers are nuts right now. Everybody knows that. I mean, I'm not surprised that we got it because everyone's getting it right now. I think, but there was like a statistic that like one in 20 people have or
in
have
LA
had,
for sure. Yeah.
COVID in LA. And so it was, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. For me, it was absolutely horrible. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have to go to the hospital.
Thank God, because that was my biggest fear, is that one of us were going to go. Let me backtrack really quick. This is a funny thing. Funniest thing, though, is like on Thanksgiving, Caleb, our friend Caleb, was like... Kato was like, should I come over? But like he was having Thanksgiving with his mom at the same time that we were actually having Thanksgiving at our friend's place. And so we were like, no, because by the time, if you come over after, it's going to be late. We'll be in a food coma, probably drunk. He's like, okay. So the whole ironic thing about all of us getting COVID is that we all think Caleb will be the one to get it.
We thought that bitch was going to spread it to us. We have our reasons behind thinking that. And we freaking got it.
I know. He's probably laughing at us.
He's like, oh, these bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably laughing, but it was, for me, it was weird because in the beginning, I wasn't sure. Like, I kept thinking I thought I had allergies, first of all, because I had gone down to my storage and pulled up my Christmas tree and all the dust was. But that day, though, I actually think that.
Yeah, it was probably allergies.
It was that day. But it kind of started after that where I was like, wait a minute, like, I'm not feeling great. Something's not right. But at first, it wasn't as bad. And I just kept thinking, well, if this is the worst of it, then I can, then I'm fine. Mm-hmm. But then after that, it just got worse where I had like fevers and chills and some body aches and fatigue. Fatigue was like my biggest, like one of those biggest things. Oh my gosh,
I was so fatigued.
Yeah.
It was just, I did not want to move. I like any form of movement was like, I just felt like I couldn't breathe. Like I was like out of breath. I was winded. Like
you would go to the bathroom and you'd be like,
girl, I need to sit the fuck down. Everything was too much. Everything was.
Yeah, there were days where I was just like, is this ever going to end?
I mean, I didn't start feeling somewhat normal to where I wasn't getting like so fatigued until probably like after day 12.
Yeah, same with me.
And like that's like a long time to just be like, I was like bedridden, you're just like, you didn't want to, if I got up from my bed, I went to my couch and that was it.
I would be so tired, but I still tried to work. Mm-hmm. So I remember like calling into like Zoom meetings and I wouldn't turn my camera on, but I would literally like pass out on the sofa in my den like halfway through a presentation. And I would wake up and everybody would be off the Zoom call.
Girl, I'm so shocked you were able to do that. I couldn't even, that first week, I definitely, called off or work for I don't know three of the days.
I don't know why I didn't. Even today, like when I was talking to my boss, like we were like catching up and she was like, oh my God, I'm so happy. You're so much better and this and that. And like, she was like, she took off last Friday and Thursday. And like, she was asking me about, well, what did they say about blah, blah, blah? And I was like, girl, I was in a blur. And we both just started laughing because she knew. Yeah. I was like, I don't even know why I was even on those calls because I don't remember like half of the stuff. I was just like.
I know, like there was like, it was too hard to focus.
Right.
I couldn't focus on anything. My brain was just garbage. Everything was so foggy. Yeah. I was so tired. And it was just like crazy because, thankfully, I have family that, they unfortunately got COVID. Like my mom got COVID, but thankfully she was didn't have
she
bad
okay.
symptoms. You know, she had like a little bit of a cough.
I know. Screw those people.
I know.
And
I was like so happy
symptoms.
that she wasn't like, you know, being that she's like, my mom.
God,
and like, but at the same time, I was like, what the hell? I'm sitting here. I cannot move.
I know.
I literally couldn't. I mean, I just felt terrible. The fever and the night sweats was no joke for me.
Well, the worst for me too was like whenever I would get the chills and I would just go take like a really steaming hot shower and I was still cold. You're like shivering in the shower. That was not cute.
It wasn't. And any of my friends that I talked to that have had COVID and they're like, oh yeah, I just lost my sense of smell or my sense of taste, and like that was it. And I'm like, well, fuck you, man.
Exactly.
But you know, good for them. They didn't go through that, but I haven't felt that miserable. I don't think. I think one time I got food poisoning and I felt pretty terrible.
Really bad, yeah.
But other than that, I don't even remember feeling that sick with the flu.
I don't remember being that sick, and I just I didn't lose my taste or smell. I mean, I lost my appetite. I could not eat. I mean, I ate like ramen noodles. That was the only thing I could stomach is like that, and maybe like some shells and cheese that you put in the microwave and fruits. But shout out to like Jarvis and Nick because they came and dropped me some groceries at my door a couple of times. Of course, nobody was coming in the house. They were like, girl, we dropped some groceries off at your front door, knock, knock.
Right.
And then I did Instacart a couple of times, but I didn't have an appetite really.
I didn't have an appetite at all.
I dropped some extra pounds, you know.
Same.
Because of that.
It was pretty frustrating, but you know.
I felt like I just looked like a very sick person.
Because you already lost a little bit of weight.
I know.
And then you got sick.
And then I got sick and I just felt like I looked very sick. Like if I'd open my door and somebody'd see me, they'd be like, oh my God.
Girl, you a skeleton.
That's what I really felt like that. I just.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty fortunate, you know, living with George. He, you know, luckily didn't have it that bad. And he had a little bit more energy than me, so he kind of took care of me a little bit, and we made some food and soup and stuff like that.
He did bring me over lentil soup that day. I mean, it was a little too salty.
It's because you a salty bitch.
He was like, why didn't you, later on when we talked about it, he's like, why didn't you say anything? I was like, well, I just was so damn sick, and that was the only thing I could eat.
It's funny, we were joking about that soup that he made, though, because like literally I couldn't taste anything. I did lose my sense of taste.
That's how I knew I'd still had my
like,
taste.
No, but I could only taste the salt. Like anything that I could taste in my food was only salt or like if it was tart, but I couldn't taste flavors. So like I could. All that stood out in that soup to me was salt. I couldn't taste any other flavor in there besides salt.
I mean, it was like the salt dispenser broke and everything just
But I will vouch for him. I've had that soup when it's not salty like that. It's really good.
No, other than that, it was actually very good. I actually really liked it a lot. But it was kind of quite salty. I was like, ooh. But I didn't say anything at the time.
Sorry, George.
I know. Yeah. Well, next time you make it, I'm sure it won't be quite as salty. But yeah, and then my poor mom was like calling me every day. I mean, everybody actually, there was a lot of people who actually did like call and check in and text and stuff like that. Of course, I told Caleb that he was not being a good friend because he did not check in enough.
You're like, I'm suffering.
I was like, I'm suffering. I'm writing my last will and testament.
Oh, man.
He was like, you're just being so dramatic. I was like, I know. But yeah, my mom was worried. And
yeah, I had my family checking in and stuff. And I think because I was like the first one in my family to get it, you know, because my mom didn't have bad symptoms, and she was telling people that, you know, I was probably dying or something, because every time I talked to her, I sound horrible.
Yeah, you sounded like death, right?
Yeah, but it was not fun. I do not wish that upon anybody.
I do not wish it again.
Yeah,
I do not want it again.
What I will say is, in case anybody is questioning the vaccine, we have a friend that was there on Thanksgiving that did a trial of the vaccine, the Pfizer one, and he didn't get it. So it's clearly effective.
Yeah, so he didn't have a placebo clearly because he did not get it, and he was completely fine. And Yeah, and he doesn't have like a third limb or Bell's palsy or or like some big knot on his head. So he's fine. Yeah, I know that's scary though.
It is scary.
I'm like, I'm gonna let you all get it first. Well, anyways, by the time it comes our way, it's like
spring.
Yeah, and everybody who all the effects or whatever will be out there. Because what do they say now? It's like you have a day of kind of feeling crappy, and then after that, for the most part, you're fine.
I think that's what I heard.
A common thing. So I figure by the time it comes my way,
Yeah, I'll probably get it because
I'm getting it. I'm not going through this crap again.
That shit was no joke, and I don't ever want to feel that way ever again. It literally put me out.
Because it wasn't even like the flu.
No.
I can't even explain it.
For me, the biggest, the part that was the scariest was the breathing.
Yeah.
Because I could feel my breathing was weird. And then I already have anxiety as a human being. So like my anxiety was like increasing because my breathing was so shallow.
Yeah.
And it freaked me out.
Well, that's what most people have to go to the hospital for, the breathing, or you get pneumonia and oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the scary part.
Yeah.
So
for sure. But we made
it through.
We made it, girl.
But being stuck at home for like 2 weeks, it's one thing to be stuck at home and you can do things like work out and just whatever, but it's another thing to just be stuck.
Yeah.
And just
I've never watched so much TV in my life.
Oh my God.
I mean, we watched so many movies, so many shows. I mean, because I literally couldn't do anything.
You cannot do anything. I don't even remember what I watched because I would just fall asleep halfway through everything that I was watching anyways. So, my show Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders came back, so I did start watching that. It was a struggle to stay up though because it comes on at 10 o'clock. So on Tuesday, and I was like, oh God, I have to try to stay up to watch this.
I actually didn't. For me, my sleep was messed up because of my fever. My fever, I always came back at night, and I would wake up in like pools of sweat, and then I would be shivering, and I would be cold, and then I had to put like towels down, and it was just like this whole process every night that I almost hated going to bed because I knew what was about to happen.
I knew I was really sick because I didn't even like shop on Amazon. Because normally, when you're stuck at home and you're bored, you just start like buying crap. I didn't buy one single thing. I was like that sick. I was like, so I'm sick. But I did buy. The one thing I did buy is I bought a thermometer, but the ones are like you just like put up to people's foreheads. So now every time you bitches come to my house,
your temperature check.
I'll be taking the temperature check before you come.
Bitches.
Right, I'll be screening bitches before they come through the door now. So be ready. And if you have 1 degree over, you're out. It's like, I'm sorry, girl, you can't come in. So I did buy one of those because my thermometer sucked. The one that you like put in your mouth. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to buy one of these fancy ones. I'm going to be screening hoes before they come in the door. So that's what it's going to be like.
Yeah. Oh my God. I still remember when the first morning I woke up and realized I had a fever before I even took my temperature. I just knew.
Yeah. Because I was feeling sick before you.
Yeah. And I was just like, I came out of my room and I was like, George, where's the thermometer? I'm like, I feel like I have a fever. And like at that moment, I just knew. I'm like, I know I have COVID. Yeah. I know it. Like, I just already feel weird.
I kept trying to like rationalize that it was something else at first. Cause I was like, well, maybe I just got a bug or cause at first nobody else I was the first one, I feel like. So I was just trying to rationalize it. I was like, but then little by little, I told you guys what happened, and everybody's like, well, I have this and I have that. And then people's tests start coming back positive. And I was like, well,
God damn it.
That's what it is.
Like, I just knew. And I was like, oh God. And I'm just trying to sit there and think that it wasn't that while my test came back, but I'm just like, I know it's going to come back positive.
And because I remember like, when I first, I think after you got your results, I still wasn't feeling horrible. So I was like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to get up. I'm going to clean my house. I'm going to sanitize it. That did not happen. I was on that couch. Yeah. I was feeling like crap. I was feeling sorry for myself.
Seriously.
That's all you could do.
Yeah.
You just sit there and feel sorry for yourself and feel like crap.
And I was getting pissed at George because he was starting to feel better, and he didn't even really feel that crappy to begin with, but he did go through a kind of like a lull where he was just like kind of no energy.
Yeah.
And but he started feeling better a couple days before me. Yeah. And I was just like, God damn it, like I just want to feel better. But yeah, anyway, now we are feeling better. You know, I will say that even though like Thanksgiving kind of it we all got infected. There was 5 of us there, but like, we still had a really great Thanksgiving.
We did. It was wonderful.
Our friends that hosted, they made these great drinks and this amazing food, and it was a really great Thanksgiving.
It was. It was wonderful. I had such a great time. The food was freaking amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's so good.
My one regret though is that I did not take any food to go.
I know. I
don't know why I did not
leftovers.
do that. I do not know why I did not. Yeah. And I was like, I got up immediately in the morning and was like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Why? I would have loved that food.
I know.
Especially because Steven and I are, pescatarian. So they made some like kind of vegetarian options and they were just so delicious.
Yeah. I don't know why I did not do that.
And I don't cook for myself like that. Ever.
Oh, I don't think I'm capable of cooking for myself like that.
I'm really not.
I'm pretty sure I'm not capable of doing that. Yeah. Like my meals are very, very simple. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not like hosting any kind of cooking shows anytime soon. Mm-hmm. So that was my one regret. I was like, why didn't I bring anything back? With me? But it was a wonderful
because we wouldn't have been able to eat it because we all got COVID.
I know, basically. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't think anybody's cooking for Christmas. So
no.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna watch Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I'm so looking forward to that. Yeah. Like that's like the one thing.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. I mean, I had tickets to go to Texas, but the airlines had like informed me that they rerouted my flights. So instead of like having a 3-hour direct flight into San Antonio, they were stopping me in Houston for like 2 hours. And I was like, no, both ways. Mm-hmm. So they just did that. They took it upon themselves to do that. So I got a refund. So so I will be here.
Yeah. I mean, we originally were thinking not to travel because of, the risk of COVID, and now even though like now that we got it, I still wouldn't want to travel back home because it's just like there's nothing to do. It's going to be a waste of money, Right. Like you just sit at home and.
Well, I figured my flights were going to get canceled at some point anyway, so I kind of wasn't really relying on going because I just, when I got them at the time, I got them in good faith because the numbers at the time were going down, but we know how the numbers are now. So, and that vaccine won't be spread out enough at that point. But so we'll
be with each other.
We'll be with each other. I mean, we can't give each other COVID now. Yeah. So
I already did that.
So that's a done deal.
Oh man,
it was an experience that I do not want to experience again.
Yeah, same here.
But we were there for each other.
We were. We all checked in on each other every day for the most part, and
we did.
I feel like people were better checking in on me than I was in checking in on others, but I was just so like.
Yeah, no, we did like a group wellness check, and our friend Z, checked in a couple of times, dropped me off some cough medicine, and that Dayquil though, that stuff just
that stuff makes me loopy.
Yep, that's it.
It's like you might as well just have some wine and
seriously. It was but thanks to all the friends who did like reach out and check and drop off things, and because it's sometimes you get sick, and I feel like especially like guys, sometimes you don't want to ask for help, or you're like, I'm fine. And I'm one of those people that like, for the most part, I'm fine, but it's nice when you're not fine, especially, and people help you, and, when they bring you things, and it's more about checking in on you, you know what I mean? Because the thing is, if you don't, you're going to hear from me when I get well. Yeah. So you might as well do it. Yeah. I'm gonna be complaining about like I was dying.
I know.
And
you didn't even check.
You didn't check. So I am definitely one of those people.
Yeah, no, we had some good, we have good friends that checked in. So thank you all for that.
Yeah.
And, sorry we missed a week's.
I know you guys were like
episode
upset.
I know you were like our millions of fans.
I know.
So like, oh my God, Adam and Steve are not here this week.
I know you could not believe it.
But we had to get better so we could.
You would not have wanted. We probably would have just been talking crap, like nonsensical.
Just might as well have been on drugs. And,
right. Nonsensical, like jabber.
Seriously. I mean, we already kind of do that, but it would have been worse.
It would have been like
a lot worse.
Yeah.
But we're here alive to tell the story.
Everybody knew when I was feeling better because I was calling everybody. I was like, "Hey, girl,
I'm ready to chat."
What you doing?
I know, because you really had no desire to talk.
No desire. I literally just wanted to go lie in my bed.
Same.
Yeah, no desire to talk.
But I guess on that note, we can move on to our last little segment and a quick episode today. But yeah, so ma'am, what do you think about breaking up with someone via text message?
I don't know. I feel like in this day and age, people probably do that all the time, because most people much rather text than pick up a phone. But I mean, if the relationship meant something to you, it's more than a text message.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's more than like, even if you, I mean.
Like, have you done this?
I don't know. I haven't done that. Like, no, I don't. I've never broken up with somebody in a text message. I've always had like a conversation or like, okay, this isn't gonna work kind of thing. But I feel like, I mean, maybe if you're really mad at the person, maybe if they cheated on you or something like that, where you're just like, this is it. Don't ever message me. Yeah. You know what I mean? But otherwise, if the relationship meant something to you, I think it's more than a text message.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like breaking up with somebody on the Post-its, like on Sex and the City. You know what I mean? Like,
that's worse.
You know what I mean? That's a Post-it's the old text,
Seriously.
So I don't know. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I was like trying to think. I feel like if I ever did this, it was definitely probably in my like teenage years or maybe a little bit. I don't know. I couldn't remember an exact instance. It would be whenever I was the most immature, probably. Yeah. But I would never, like nowadays, I would never do that.
Yeah.
It's just like sometimes maybe you can start that conversation via text, but you would need to talk.
At least pick up the phone at some point. Okay, so is this it?
Yeah.
Like, are we over?
Yeah, you need that closure, I think, as if you're in a relationship with somebody, you need that closure to be like, okay, we're done.
I mean, unless you just don't give a fuck. Yeah. You're like, that's it, boo, bye. Yeah.
Or if they really have that much of a hold on you to where you feel like they're just going to talk you into like staying together.
Right. Something
if it's like
that.
A toxic situation, then maybe you don't want to, talk to them because it's going to make it harder. But I don't know. It would be weird to me to not have that conversation. Yeah. Like I would need the closure, so I wouldn't be able to do it via text.
I don't think I would do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So no to that.
No, but that's what we think about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you all for listening. As always, please follow us at Adam and Steve Podcast.
Yeah.
Or myself at Adman2005. Steven
at Green Eye Steve.
Yeah, definitely. And until next time, remember that God made Adam and Eve, but He also made
Adam and Steve.
Any problems? Pray about it.